and it's so fast. And I remember pulling it up, trying to hit like any key command, and a new window would pop up. I'm like, I don't want to fight this. I know Pro Tools. I'm quick, and I just never really learned.
Yeah, it's so hard to learn a new DAW. I mean, it's like everything, right? It's like your environment that you know, and when you've been doing it for years, you literally are just running through it. It's all gravy. To start from the bottom, it's like if you're a skier and all of a sudden you want to be a snowboarder,
Exactly.
And when you've been doing it for however many years, like to start back on the bunny hill is like who wants to do that? I want to make music, right? So
yeah, and I'm generally busy enough that I don't want to spend time learning a thing that I already know somewhere else. That's just going to take me more time. Like I don't know, I'll spend the time making patches or learning new guitar riffs or programming different sounds.
Right. You're focused on the instrument and you're focused on the musicality and like the playing and the inspiration, and not on the technology.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. Yeah. I mean, let's jump into the soft segment, so people kind of hear what we've been talking about.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So you sent me a track called We Don't Talk Now by Cindy, which was produced by you and mixed by former guests of the show, Chris Crelia, and mastered by Connor Salmoral, also former guest of the show and who's been mastering a lot for me. So yeah, let's have a listen to that song and we'll talk a bit about what went into it. Sound cool?
Cool.
We don't talk now. Set out supposed to be, yeah. We don't fuck now. Next door go Mr. Screaming, where do we go now? Cause I don't have a clue, yeah. No, we don't talk now. I can't ask your opinion. How you been? How's your sister? How's your friend? How's your friend? The other day I saw your mama loading groceries in the bins. The other day I cleaned my drawer out, found the birthday card you made. It's a shame when we forget this. Shame when we forget this. It's a shame you'll never get this. Cause we don't talk now. Said I'm supposed to be, yeah. We don't fuck now. Next door go Mr. Screaming, where do we go now? Cause I don't have a clue, yeah. No, we don't talk now. I can't ask your opinion. Oh, la 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 la, yeah. You know that joke that won't make sense to no one else. That shit you go and laugh it by yourself. That itch you get to text your form of love. I know you know what I am thinking of. I know you think about it just as much. See you creeping all up in my stuff. Players play, but I just call you bluff. That new waste in your heads is just a crutch. Cause we don't talk now. Said I'm supposed to be, yeah. We don't fight now. Next door don't miss a screaming, where do we go now? Cause I don't have a clue, yeah. No, we don't talk now. I can't ask your opinion.
Yeah, man, sounds awesome. I love the low end, like just like the bass and the kick.
Thank you. That's all Chris.
And the guitars and the vocal. Yeah, tell me a little bit about what went into that production.
Right. So yeah, Cindy came to me with that song. It was like a rough demo of it from I think like 2018. She said, because we've been sitting on it for a while, and it was just like acoustic. And I think she only had at the time first verse and the chorus. So we kind of had a little bit of a direction in mind. We just wanted to make things like kind of wonky and like that whole guitar part. I think we tracked that guitar part the day she showed me the demo, just like sitting on the couch in the studio, like really quick. I think we did like, I don't know, a 4-bar loop, chopped it up, started playing with that like sort of wobbly bass. So the song we did right before this one that she released, called Pussy, we did with another producer. So like we kind of tag teamed it, and he's like big Ableton guy all in the box. And I remember watching him sort of like swing these weird 808 things. I was like, oh, I want to incorporate some of that. That's really cool. So we had the Prophet in the studio too, threw a couple little light pads down, and then had this little 808 patch, and same thing, just started like making it bounce and really wobble with her. I think like the most part of that came out in like a day or a night. I believe one of the guys in the studio left an OP1 in the hallway. So I grabbed that. We were just sort of like fucking around with it, trying to learn this thing. And got onto the percussion side of it. And like all those little hi-hat clicky things, we just like found a cool hi-hat, started pitching it up and down, just like played it in real time. I think I timed a few odd things up. Yeah, it just came together really, really quick. we actually sent it to Chris without a bridge to mix. And I think maybe like an hour after we sent it, she called me. She's like, I don't know why we did that. We definitely need to write a bridge. Let's like meet up tonight and figure this out. Yeah, we met up. She's like, I don't really have too much of an idea. Do you want to just try things? She's like, go full Tompa, go crazy. We'll strip it back if we need.
Full Tompa.
So we, I think we just sort of like sat around. That bridge came out in maybe like 20 minutes. Just all those big weird swelling like pads and synths and everything. Wrote, the couple like bridge lines, distorted it up. And then that was kind of it. Like we did a couple weird harmonies. We did that weird like pitching thing to her voice at the beginning. I think that was an accident. Or like I was trying to show her some weird thing I was doing with Alter Boy. And she's like, yep, that's cool. Put that in the intro. We're keeping it.
I love it when you just like send like if you want, we could do something like this. And like, perfect. And it's like, this was like pretty half-assed. But like, okay, I guess we're keeping it.
No, she's definitely got a very specific thing that she wants out of kind of like everything that we work on. But like I said before, she's definitely super open and keen on just like experimenting and trying weird sounds and stuff. So yeah, like pitched up that vocal. She's like, yeah, let's chop that a few times, throw that there. We'll put it back somewhere else. We'll figure it out. I think most of the second verse, if not the whole thing, has like an octave down underneath as well. Just because it sounded kind of freaky and weird and like a little bit thicker. Because she's like a little bit soft when she's doing that rappy part. Again, I think that second verse came out really quick. I think she wrote that probably the same day. I think we just sort of like copied the verse more or less, or at least the guitar part, changed up the production. She just like wrote it as we were playing it. Yeah, that was a quick one.
And when you said you wobbled the bass to her voice, was that how you played it in with your synths, or or like you just like used the
pitch shift, the little pitch wheel? Yeah, it was just we had that little sort of drum loop going and the like little wonky guitar part. It's like, let's just make it everything like really wobble so you can't help but kind of like nod your head a little bit.
Do you tighten that stuff up like afterwards? Like you want like that kind of like bass hit to hit like on the money with the kick drum for like this kind of modern pop sound, or you like going in and like just tightening everything up?
So Cindy does a lot of like, or she was doing a lot of Twitch stuff, and I've had a few people like tell me, you should like do production and whatnot on Twitch. That'd be cool. People would love that. I don't think so, because I play shit so many times. So I just play that until I got it right.
Just do as many takes as necessary.
That's it. I think the only thing I do like chop up and tighten is like the stops, just to make sure everything like really cuts. Especially with that song, so there's a lot of things that just like the whole track cuts on the beat and then comes back in. So that stuff I make super sure, but otherwise, I play.
I love that. Yeah, it's like the musician thing just keeps coming back. It's like you could spend all the time editing, or you could spend the time practicing and getting better at your instrument so that it comes out good the first time, or just keep playing it until you get it right.
Exactly.
All options. But then sometimes just like one slice does everything you need it to do. So I guess
there's that too.
I mean, I guess not for you, but for me, striking the balance of like, the bass is basically there. Let me just nudge that a tiny bit.
I do a little bit, but that one I know I really wanted to play. And like her guitar part, she played, like I was saying, on the couch. And it's like just off enough that it's like that sort of laggy kind of behind thing, which we really wanted.
Sounds like very R&B,
Exactly.
So she played the guitar bit.
Yep. Yeah, she played the guitar.
Nice.
I'm trying to remember if there's any real bass in that song. So if there is, I know she played it. There might be a little bit of a layer in like the verses, or at least that first verse. I think there's like 4 synth basses or something. But
yeah, lots of basses are hard to kind of mix together, but
yeah,
sometimes you need the sounds.
I mean, they switch up a little bit. Like, I think the verse one's different than the chorus, and the bridge is definitely different than everything else.
Well, it sounds great, man, and and people should just go listen to your production reel, because you're working on like so many different things and like so many different genres and directions. And
thanks, man.
Like, I guess like just on that note, like how do you keep up with like music and like just knowing what to do for so many different genres? Like it's hard, it's hard enough to keep up with one genre. How are you able to kind of know what's happening in all these places?
I mean, the reference thing definitely helps. Like every time I start a new project, they usually come at me with like 2 or 3 reference tracks. And if it's something I haven't heard, it's like, oh, okay, this is really cool. We'll pick parts away from this. The other part is kind of like what I was saying, where I like to spend money on fun shit. Cars are not fun shit for me. So I have a really old Toyota Corolla that does not have like Bluetooth or an aux cable. So it's like radio or nothing. So that definitely helps me too. Just listening to the radio.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't listen to the radio, but that definitely could help. Especially here in Israel, like so eclectic. Like the channel that everyone listens to here in Israel just literally will be every and any genre. It's like crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it's really interesting. The Israeli music culture is definitely influenced by it's like an army radio, and it's like the big radio station that everyone listens to for music. And
Interesting.
it's just like they'll play like literally any genre from any decade. Like you'll go from like Frank Sinatra to like I don't know Dua Lipa or something. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Crazy.
It's like we're yeah, it's cool.
See, I find Canada doesn't have that a lot. Whereas like living in England, they have, you know, the different subgenres of BBC. And you've got like your super heavy channel, and then you've got like your crazy underground UK garage channel, and then you've got like your top 40. Whereas here it's like a whole bunch of top 40, a jazz one, and a couple rock ones.
Yeah, New York is like that also, you know.
Right.
Like Toronto. Yeah, you got your one classic rock station, you got your modern rock station, and you got a bunch of top 40 stuff, and you got the lighter songs from the top 40.
Yeah. The adult
contemporary
ones.
channel.
Yeah. The office friendly playlist.
My friend and I would make fun of like there was a station in New York when we were growing up, 102.7. It's like, this isn't your grandma's music. Like this isn't your grandma's shit. Like
nice.
Whatever. But I get like I really don't listen to the radio ever. Like I'm on the streaming platforms, I guess, for better or for worse. I am when I take my wife's car. But so I actually don't live in Toronto. I'm in Stony Creek, so I drive in like about an hour. Wow, where is Stony Creek?
Pretty much right like midway between Toronto and the Niagara Falls border.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So like on a good day, 45 minutes to the studio, usually an hour or so.
Nice.
So that's
what's that main highway? The 401, maybe the 402.
The QEW is the 40. I'm really bad with this stuff. I take the QEW. Yeah. Let's go with that.
I've driven it a few times. Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. But I guess commuting is part of your life. I'm trying to avoid commuting like as much as I can these days. Israel has just become like Hong Kong or something. It's like it's so densely packed here, and like there's so many cars on the road. It's just like every time I drive, like I just like regret it.
See, I don't mind as long as, you know, I can just kind of like listen to music, do my thing. The studio spot that I'm at now, like Joe's place, it's right. So the way the highway is, it turns into the Gardner Expressway, which then takes a turn and goes like north. But forever, there was a little spot that as soon as you finished on the Gardner, it just like, there's a little on-ramp onto Lakeshore, and the studio is pretty much right there. So they just got rid of that ramp. So now the highway just like ends and goes up. So it's definitely more of a little bit of a workaround, and, you know, getting to the studio takes a little longer, but it's fine. It's fine. I'll keep doing it.
All right. Yeah, listen, everybody's got to do their thing.
That's
you know what I mean? Well, to make it work.
I don't mind.
Awesome. Yeah. And you have your own like personal like artist, you know, Tompa, right? Like you have your own songs. You put out an EP recently. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about your own music?
Yeah, I did. I put out 5 EPs of 4 songs each last year, purely just because when we got home from that tour, that's when everything was sort of uncertain and everything was shut down for a while. So I had a bunch of time to just sort of sit around and sound design and kind of create. So I wanted to do a big collaborative project with a bunch of friends. So that was kind of everything from songwriter friends, producer friends, musician friends, video friends. So John Butler, another buddy of mine, did all the videos. So I have like a video per installation. All of the art was done by different photographer or like visual artist friends. I had my graphic artist friend put it all together for me so it looks like it makes sense. That was it. I just kind of wanted to make a bunch of music that was fun, just something that I kind of would like listening to. Didn't really try and make everything have to fit so perfectly or make everything make a ton of sense. which, I mean, I don't know if it sounds weird and eclectic,